Pep, extraordinary game. What are your thoughts on it?
It's never boring with us. Incredible intensity from the start, both teams. I think we would have wanted more control. We would have wanted to have more the ball in their half and could have put more our game into place and bring better situations for Mo and Sadio. We had so many good counter-attacks, but it was just missing like the last pass or even like the little offside timing to go. All with all, I think, for the public must have been an unbelievable game. Second half, I think we were better when we were clear in our minds with our combinations to play through their press. And the moments we played through their press, the pitch was so open, and then it's about making the last pass, to wait a little bit longer, do better timings from our boys. But I have to say, and in the situation where we are in, it's a big compliment to the team because it goes. I'm not here to make excuses, but we could have made a lot of excuses today. And our boys, big heart, fought with all they had. Otherwise, we would have suffered more, I think.
You said to us before the game, we want to make this like a final, leave nothing out there. They do that for you?
Yeah, they do that for the club, for the fans. We want. That's how we approach each game. We want to approach each game like if it's a final. And our boys have that mentality, and that's what the club wants. That's what the club needs. That's what the only way to improve, and it's what the fans expect from us. And I think in each game we play, whoever's wearing the shirt, whoever's on the bench, we are showing this character for a long, long time now.
Chelsea are adamant that Sadio Mane should have been sent off after 6 seconds into the game. Should have been a red. What's your view on that?
I didn't see back, to be honest. I didn't look back at it. Didn't see it.
In terms of balance as well, did you feel that Mason Mount could have had a red card when he lifted his foot on Tsimikas?
I didn't see it back. I think for the public it was an incredible game, and it's good that the game was 11v11 for a long time, all the time. I really believe in that, and we are here to entertain, we are here to win, and that's what we try to do each time. And I think the fans really identify us with us, how we play and how we want to play, and how I started this interview. It's never boring.
So it wasn't either when you've got Mane and Salah performing like that and those quality of goals as well. Does it underline, not that you need to know, you already know how good they are, but how important they are to you and how much you'll miss them when they go away now on international duty? Yeah,
but we have many weapons, many different weapons. But for our creative players, our players with speed, our players with goal, like Sadio Mo have, they are incredibly important because they give us a face, they give us direction in the game. They give us unpredictability. They give us desire. But what I like most of today is how they defend it. It's unbelievable because these wingers with this world class skill, if they have a world class attitude, makes them the best in the world for me. So we are really happy that they are with us, and it's a fact. And I just thought Sadio Mo, I wish you all the best in the Africa Cup. You're already legends there, but everybody knows how it feels to play for your country. Go and try with everything you have and try and win it, and then you become even a bigger legend. So they have the right to fight for prizes, each prize what comes, as we have all the right to fight for prizes.
Yeah, 2 big semi-finals and 2 Premier League games Mane and Salah will miss. Can they cope?
Yeah, I think they can cope. I mean, they'll need a couple of players back. Of course, Jota, Firmino to come back. Origi's been injured lately. So they have got options, and against lesser teams, then you still find... You know, if they were playing Manchester City or Chelsea again or something like that, while they're away, I'd be saying, oh, you can't be without your big hitters, as today has proven, really. They were the game changers in many ways.
They don't play many games out of choice without at least one of them, do they?
No.
Rarely do you see the pair of them not there.
No. Well, they hardly ever play full stop without Mo Salah. He just plays all the time, regardless of what competition.
Famous game we did, was it Burnley away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And listen, Liverpool were through in the Champions League after 4 games, was it, or 5? And they're still travelling away to Italy and starting with Mo Salah. I mean, it was... he just doesn't want to miss any games. They're going to be a big miss, no question. Fortunately for Liverpool, they don't have to play, as I say, a Manchester City or Chelsea while they're away.
Oh, they're going to miss them too. There's no doubt about it. We can wrap it up and try and change it. They're going to miss them big time. Yes, there's opportunities for other players, but they're not going to be in the same capacity as the Liverpool that we know going forward. If other players come in, they might do well, but you know, as a club, as a manager, set of staff, you want your best jockey on the horse, and they ain't going to have the best jockey on the horse. There's no doubt about it. Don't mean the horse can't win. Can still win.
I was going to say, Michael will tell you, even with a different jockey.
Well, exactly, win, yeah. So, but you know, they want their best players out there, and from where they are as well. Perhaps if they were the ones 10 points clear, it might have been a little bit different. But they're gonna have to be chasing this City team, and they've got to make sure they don't make any mistakes whatsoever, and they've got to keep winning and winning and winning and beat Manchester City when they play them at the Etihad. So it's a lot on the plate for Chelsea or Liverpool, but they need their best players. For me to actually do it, it's a little bit unfortunate for the league actually that this has happened. The guys from Liverpool say, yeah, we're wishing them all the best, but they're absolutely gutted that they won't be with them.
Yeah, and Chelsea's next league game, of course, is away to the leaders Manchester City. Let's see how their manager felt after this one today, though, the 2-2 draw with Liverpool. Here's Thomas.
So what did you make of that?
Brilliant match of football. Everybody was not in the stadium, missed something, I guess. Yeah, brilliant to watch. What an energy, what quality, and of course some mistakes. I think we started excellent, very, very good. We were 1-0 down out of nothing because we did 2-3 big mistakes right in the beginning. So we got punished by individual quality, then concede a second one, which makes the task very, very hard. There were a lot of reasons maybe to say this is not our day and this is today too hard for us, but the team did not give in. And Kova's goal brought the belief back, brought the energy back into stadium, and brought all the quality back again. So there was almost a perfect comeback in first half with a third goal from in the very end, in the transition. Yeah, it was a nice match of football and a lot of positive things to take from.
Are you still firmly of the opinion that you should have been playing against 10 men after just 6 seconds?
Well, if you remember the first game with the same referee and how quick it was to give the red card to us in this game, and you remember that I said why not take the time to check it and why, and I'm not a friend of early red cards, and I hate to say it because I love Mané and he should always be on the pitch because it's a nice guy and he's a top player. But it is a red card. I'm sorry, it is a red card. The elbow is in the face, and it doesn't matter if you do this after 20 seconds or 20 minutes. It's a red card, and you know, we come from a game against Brighton where we miss VAR calls for handball in the box for penalty against Christian Pulisic, and then suddenly VAR is checking a goal from Mateo Kovacic, where I'm sorry, but yeah, this is hard to take in a game like this. Hard to take. But we did, and that's a positive thing.
What did you make of the character your players showed, though, having gone 2-0 down, clear their heads to get themselves back in?
Yeah, this is so hard because you can get punished with every counter-attack if you increase the risk, and of course we needed to, and still they are strong. They were strong, and yeah, it would be nice to also inject from outside some have the possibility to have substitutes who even give more energy, but in the moment and improve. But in the moment, it's like, oh, we have another problem, so we try to put Aspi on a new position, make Christian Pulisic, who was so strong up front, make him play wing back because of another injury from Trevor Chalobah. That these are the last % that missing in the moment, and nobody is to be blamed. It's just like this, and it's not an excuse. But I get the feeling that we start with teams in the back three, and we never end with the same back three because of the situation how it is, and of course then you cannot expect that you escape the pressure always in the same fluid and the same fluidity and in the same quality. It's simply like this.
What would you say about the quality of your 2 goals?
Oh, nice goals, no? I mean, the first one was absolutely brilliant, and but also the second one was very difficult, I think, and Pulli had a brilliant finish. Yeah, overall it was joy, I think, to be in the stadium. Was also joy to coach it. Was high level, and it was on the edge. It could have gone either way, of course. We had chances for the third. We needed Edu with some big saves to not concede the third. So good afternoon, good Sunday afternoon in New Year.
Apart from not taking all 3 points, in terms of trying to close the gap, what does a point do?
No, not really close it, no. I mean, we have too many draws in general at home, and we don't feel really lucky in the last matches, in way matches go. But okay, it does not make sense to look so much back, and does not make sense to ask too much. We should have won here and should have won there, and this is a draw too much. Today is we have to focus on today. And from today learn what we can do tomorrow, and I think there are a lot of positive things. The results take care, I mean, of themselves. We play with this quality and energy, will come back.
We started the day talking about Romelu Lukaku.
Yeah.
There's probably just 2 questions that Chelsea fans want to know. Has he apologised? And also, is there a way back for him here at Chelsea?
This is our players. There's always a way back, but we will clear this in Cobham behind closed doors. And once we have made a decision, club, coach, then and once Romelu knows, then you will maybe know also.
Has he apologised?
And not before. No, this is not to be discussed now. Let's wait some days and then we give you more information.
Yeah, well, we were talking about communication. He's going to communicate probably tomorrow, without a doubt. We don't know the ins and outs of it. I would imagine Lukaku would be staying at Chelsea, getting his head down, trying to get back to his very best form. That's what Tuchel will want. And that's what the squad need, actually. It's what Chelsea need at the moment. I don't see him going anywhere, quite personally. It's been a strange scenario with him coming out and saying in Italy on a television interview certain things that I think caught the manager by the hop. Don't think he had a clue, because he was saying before the game that Lukaku at training ground looked happy. He didn't come up and have a conversation with him about anything about moving back to Inter. So I think there's some clearing of the air will be needed over the next 48 hours.
He was asked there, Thomas Tuchel, about apologies. Does Romelu Lukaku need to apologise for anything, do you think, from the player's point of view?
Possibly. I mean, some of the quotes that I saw were a bit, you shouldn't have said that. So possibly. Okay. I mean, maybe to the Chelsea fans, I guess, the bit where he's talking about wanting to go back to Inter, I mean, bear in mind, he was the one trying to get to Chelsea, and when he came, he was like, this is my club, this is my home, I'm coming back home, and all these different quotes. And then to say, within a couple of months, I'll be going back to Inter, I want to go back to Inter. They were the strange ones. So I think more so to the fans. You know, the other stuff about not playing, about the team being a different formation and me and the coach having to work on things, that's frustration when you're not playing. I could forgive him that if I was Thomas Tuchel. But if I was one of the fans, I'd be thinking, I want to hear from Romelu Lukaku. I want to hear what he's got to say about those Inter Milan quotes. And we may see an apology from him in the coming days. OK,
they've won 1 of their last 5 games without Romelu Lukaku, incidentally. Does he have to be back in the mix for Chelsea to get anywhere near Manchester City from here, in terms of, even if they're not going to win the league, get closer to them?
Yes, I think he has to be. I think that's. It's not as if they've had a Havertz or a Pulisic that's gone in there, or and Werner's been out injured. And they've not had somebody that's gone in there and actually started banging the ball in the back of the net, where you go, wow, perhaps they don't need a Lukaku as much as we think. That hasn't happened. So they do need him. I think they've got to keep their eye on the European football now. They've got to certainly make sure they stay in the top 4, which they will do. And there's other things there as well. There's other silverware. They've got semi-final against Tottenham, 2-leg. I'm not saying they're going to give up the ghost on catching City, but it's a big ask. And without Lukaku, I think it's even bigger ask. So, yeah, I think he'll be nursed back into the squad, to the team. And the thing that's killing Chelsea this year is the draws. They've drawn 6 matches out of 11. And probably most of them draws, they feel they should have won. They should have won them draws. They were very close to winning. They created lots of chances. They haven't been clinical enough. And they've got a fella sitting there that's not played or anywhere near the squad today, who actually, if you give him chances, he is clinical. He will score goals. So they can put that right. The fixtures are coming up. It doesn't matter who they're going to play now. They're under pressure. If you're playing Burnley, if you're playing Palace, if you're playing whatever those fixtures are there, they've got to win. They've got to win every sort of game if they're going to catch City.
But you're both of the opinion that City, as far as Chelsea are concerned, are uncatchable from this point on.
I think Chelsea are quite good enough. I think Liverpool and City are a class apart at the moment. OK, that today was an even game, but in general, I think Liverpool and City are slightly ahead of Chelsea, and then I think it's Chelsea firmly in third, and then the rest. So I don't think that they can catch them. I think Liverpool will have a job to catch them, but if there's anybody going to do it, it's them. Those fixtures, of course, everybody, apart from Manchester City fans, everybody's going to be a Chelsea fan in that next one. And Liverpool have got a nice little run there where you'd think that they can make up some ground. And then, of course, Liverpool will have to go to the Etihad at some point later on in the season. In April, that could be, well, it's going to be a must-win for Liverpool. It's whether it means that they can catch them. But
can they be close enough? That's the thing. I mean, they win the game in hand. As I said to Jordan Henderson, it's 8 points. If City suddenly drop a few and they keep winning, if they can get it to a risky sort of gap.
And that's what every Liverpool fan is thinking at this minute. Right, we've got a game in hand, so that take 11 down to 8. Then we've got to play them. If we beat them, it's 5. Chelsea have got to play them next. It could, they could drop points. All of a sudden, it could be 3 or it could be 2. So straight away, that's what every fan, Premier League fan, Liverpool fan, will be looking at. Can anybody catch Manchester City? Everything's going to need to go Liverpool's way, or Chelsea's way for that matter. The way City are playing, you'd say absolutely no way. But we've seen it before. We've seen teams looking unbelievable. Chelsea at the start of the season, you're thinking, wow, I can't see them losing any games. And all of a sudden, look where they are now, out the title race virtually, just after Christmas. So things can happen quickly, but at the minute, City look unbelievable. Yeah,
they look unbelievable. The only way they'll take their eye off the ball a little bit is when Champions League comes around. I still believe that it's that the owners, for sure, Pep, everyone wants to win the Champions League for Man City. They want to win it. Not only do they want to win it, I think they want to dominate it, like Ajax did, like Bayern Munich, like Liverpool did years ago. That's a really big ask. They've got to win the first one. So that could take their eye off it a little bit. That could take, if they get a few injuries to key players, they've got the squad to go deep. But if they're now sort of looking at that as the majority of the time as the major trophy that we want, he might just tinker in the league. That's the only way. It's in City's hands whether they trip up. I can't see Chelsea or Liverpool catching them. It's only whether City keep hitting the hurdles and Liverpool and Chelsea keep jumping them jumps. It's self-infliction. If they self-inflict, they might catch them, but I can't see it. We all thought, I was watching that game yesterday thinking, this is the hiccup. Arsenal played exceedingly well. With 20 minutes to go, you're thinking, is this the day? They didn't look themselves, City. They still look decent, don't get me wrong. But look what happened. They won 2-1, they win 3 points and they move on.
And on Glenn's point there, is that all, as we were saying to Jordan Henderson, is that all Liverpool can do is try and look after their own consistency and ask a question to see if points are going to be dropped? They have.
The only thing they can do is win their games and, of course, make City look over their shoulder and panic a little bit. But, I mean, they've been there before. They've seen it. They've won titles. They've been at the top for a long time. I mean, City are, the real deal at the minute. One of the best teams we've ever seen in the Premier League. So it's very hard to envisage them dropping so many points as to not win the league this year. But from Liverpool's point of view, absolutely. They're going to be Chelsea fans when Chelsea play City next up. And then, of course, they're going to be hoping that they can win all the next games. We just saw the fixtures. They are all winnable for Liverpool, the next dozen games. And then, of course, they just got to keep their fingers crossed that they have a full, healthy squad come April, go to the Etihad and nick the points there as well.
It is the Premier League, so we often say anything could happen. If it's going to happen in any league, it's going to happen in this one.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, because it is a fascinating league. We always say it's the toughest league, but it's fascinating as well because you look at Watford could go and beat Man City, or Southampton. They've got to go away to Southampton. They could get tripped up there quite easily. That doesn't happen in many leagues.
Fourth goal for Liverpool against Chelsea. He still is not the top scorer in this fixture in the Premier League. That is your good self. So, therefore, you're in very good position to tell us how good a finish Mo Salah's was in the second.
Well, I didn't score many at Stamford Bridge, I know that. Only one, I think. But Mo Salah was well, what do you expect from
This
him?
is his first at Stamford Bridge.
Is that right? I mean, that little shimmy there, the way he almost stops Alonso in his tracks, and to do it while you're running at a decent pace as well, doesn't normally fool the defender. As you see, Chelsea could have defended it better. Rudiger, Alonso is looking at the situation. Kovacic is actually in the area. He's best placed to cover, but none of them do it, and Mo Salah's off and away. And then this little shimmy that just, I mean, it sends Alonso a yard or 2 yards out of place. And then the finish. I mean, look at that little shimmy there. Makes him stop. He's then in full flight. He opens his body out as if he's going to go to the far post and then just dips his ankle at the last minute.
What I love, Michael, about that goal is it's at the very beginning that I like it. He identifies... This is where Salah's so good. He identifies when to go. He's looked at them 3 Chelsea players that we've highlighted there, and he's seen them all in a straight line. And he knows the fella on the ball, Alexander-Arnold, can play balls with his eyes shut. And that it's the second he realises that he's on. And he knows that the Chelsea players are in a square. They're almost square. Look, he's going. He knows he's in there, he's going to get in there. He's got the pace to get in there, and he knows his man's going to deliver it. And I think that's where the goal scored. Yes, the skill and everything, but he knows he's gone into another gear. Lovely first touch. Stop-start the keeper. Oh, beautiful, beautiful goal.
It's pure cat and mouse when you're an attacking player, because you can see something developing and you're getting excited, but you don't want to show your hand too quickly. He could have made a run sort of half a second before that. Someone would have spotted it. He would have run offside, lots of different things. So you're actually just seeing it. You're starting to get excited. Oh, the right man's on the ball. He's about to lift his head. And you're just timing it perfectly to not give the game away as well to your opponents. And Mo Salah does it so well.
Absolutely. And I watch strikers for exactly that. And when you're watching a striker, you think, what are you doing? You're wasting your energy. Yeah. The ball's not ready to come. There's pressure on the ball, or even individually, that player's not going to hit you. Sorry, it's on his left foot, it's his swinger. And he's making a run in behind the defender. And the defender goes, it's not coming. But that moment, he just went, we're on. This is the moment. I've been waiting for this all day. You know, and bang, he's in there, and that's top quality football.
Back to your point about Trevor Chalobah, because at 2-0, he made a very good challenge in a goal-scoring opportunity for Liverpool.
Well, he certainly did. He got across lovely, didn't he? Look at that there. He was waiting for the poor touch. It came. Salah just hits it a little bit too far, and he gets across and makes what was a really vital tackle. Look at the pace that he's had to make up. The ground he's made up, and he's given his teammates a chance to get all them blue shirts back and get themselves in a defensive unit.
Really interesting one, that, because I think it's very similar to the Van Dijk one later on in the game, where Van Dijk doesn't actually come across. He's actually crossed his centre-half partner there to make the challenge, whereas Van Dijk almost shot Pulisic in that situation. So I thought that was really interesting and a real good decision, because all of these are split-second decisions. We talk about Mo Salah's run from an attacking point of view. That's a split-second decision. Shall I leave Salah on his right foot? Shall I just, push him out wide? Or shall I go and commit myself, take the risk? And these are all split-second decisions that people have got to make on the pitch, and he made the right one.
Particularly, as Glenn says, after a couple of wobbles in the opening stages.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, the first mistake that he made, the execution of it was fine. He just wasn't aware of what was around him. The second one was a bad decision. Obviously, should be going with his left foot. So, but yeah, to have almost a scrambled brain after making a couple of mistakes shows you that
sums
maturity.
up, that little mistake that we saw, Michael, sums up modern-day football to me. A centre-back is like the first opportunity you can put your head through a ball and be dominant in the first minutes of a game and say, look, I'm on top of my game, you're going to have our day today. But this is modern-day football. Centre-backs now, first minute, he's not in the game, he's trying to cushion a nice little header. He's trying to play football. He's trying to play football instantly, but it's risky. It's a bit of a risk, certainly, in the game. But back in the day, when I was playing my centre-backs, they would have just headed straight through the ball. Come on, up we come, let's send a little message, you're in for an hard day today. Whereas end up, Liverpool going, hang on a minute, they're all over the place at the back. And that's the attitude change.
Chelsea got back into it. Mateo Kovacic scored a goal nearly as good as vintage Glenn Hoddle, but not quite.
Well, what a strike. It's so good, Michael, because he's backing away, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's the reason why. Look, he's having to back. He steps backwards and he still finds the technique and the power to actually beat the keeper. Wonderful strike.
Do you know, I think I think he's still on the wrong foot. If you look here, he needs to take one more step and watch him hop again. He almost stays on one foot because he knows it's a right foot finish, but he needs one more step back, but he can't place his right foot back because he's going to hit it with it. So he almost takes a step onto his left and then realises, I need another step, so hops onto the same leg and then hits it. It's so good.
And again,
it's such a good finish.
And again, it's that.
Yeah.
It's the top level football, top level sport. Is the little look at his left foot.
And he hops again.
And so he can smother it on what I call a paintbrush. So he's gone bang, so it's got topspin on it. It's a wonderful strike, it really is. Gets a little bit of luck there, but he deserves it with that technique.
Yeah, I mean, that is... I mean, we saw some cracking goals this weekend, but again, going to be up there with the goal of the month contenders, that one.
Well, Joseph, what a party.
Yeah, it was a great victory for the players, the fans, and everyone.
What do you think about your performance?
I think it was good, and each game it keeps getting better.
We need this match, no, with 3 goals.
Yeah, it was really great because we fought hard for this victory, and everyone deserved to be happy.
Bueno, es el mejor partido de la temporada en lo que va de Liga, ¿no?
No sé si el mejor, pero sí el que hemos sabido jugar con el marcador a nuestro favor, que nos estaba costando mucho. Y sobre todo felices por ganar en casa, porque nos estaba costando muchísimo. Desde que hay público en el estadio solo habíamos ganado un partido de no sé cuántos. O sea que hoy el partido creo que era fundamental porque nos ponemos también a 3 puntos del Español, que es un rival directo, para alejarnos de abajo, para irnos tranquilos de vacaciones y pensar en lo que viene.
Con el partido contra el Valencia también nos ponemos por delante, pero el Chacho se quejaba, ¿no? Un poco que nos había faltado controlar el partido. Hoy es lo que tú dices, ¿no? Se ha conseguido.
Bueno, sobre todo hoy no hemos tenido errores individuales que nos pagaron contra el Valencia. Creo que es un partido para sacar conclusiones positivas. Hemos vuelto a ganar en casa, tenemos que hacernos fuertes aquí de lo que queda de temporada, porque fuera de casa sí el equipo está respondiendo bien y tenemos que seguir esta línea.
Cuéntame el gol, ¿no? Porque ha sido una jugada rápida, pero cuando te ha llegado ha sido como mucha pausa, las pican. ¿Cómo ha sido?
Bueno, recibo de Hugo, controlo y normalmente Diego López suele salir a tapar. Veo muchos partidos y Diego López en los 1 para 1 suele salir a tapar, entonces yo controlo y él no ve lo que voy a hacer, entonces intento picársela un poquito y cruzársela con tranquilidad.
¿Cómo ya tocaba?
Tocaba, pero ahora mismo sentimos una alegría inmensa, ya no solo por el partido, sino estamos trabajando como el que más, estamos en el día a día muy sacrificados, con los pies en la tierra, con humildad, y al final somos una piña y hoy nos lo merecíamos y se lo merecía también la afición, que pues mira, no estamos ganando, no nos están saliendo los partidos en casa y aún así la afición cree en nosotros, nos apoya y nos transmite el cariño día a día.
Eso te iba a decir, has dicho que sois una piña equipo, pero la afición también. Hemos visto ese momento tan bonito ahí en la esquina.
Sí, sabemos que le debemos mucho a esta afición, no solo de esta temporada, sino que por desgracia hemos vivido un par de temporadas muy jodidas sobre todo a nivel mental, muy difíciles de sacar, y las hemos sacado esas temporadas gracias al apoyo de ellos. En otra situación, en otro equipo, la afición lo dejaría de lado, y aquí, cuanto peor iban las cosas, más estaban con uno y con el equipo. Y eso es de agradecer, y se lo agradeceremos hoy, mañana y en un futuro.
En lo personal, vuelves después de varias semanas que parecía que sí, pero al final no, 90 minutos con asistencia.
La verdad que bueno, no estoy al 100%, pero creo que he podido ayudar al equipo. Venía de mucho tiempo parado, unos problemas que no se me daban ido. Entrenaba, tenía que volver a parar, volví a aparecer, volví a parar. Bueno, espero que ahora sea el fin de esta lesión del carajo, porque ya estoy frito, y que pueda ayudar y contribuir al equipo.
Saca 2001, 2022.
Por el 2022 a tope. Tenemos que seguir con los pies en la tierra, saber quiénes somos, de dónde venimos, y con esta afición, con el equipo, con el compañerismo y el sacrificio. No quiero ser pesado, pero creo que son las claves para mirar hacia adelante en un futuro.
Gracias, Hugo.
Gracias a vosotros.
Gracias, Hugo.